Hello darlings, it's Tess and welcome back to part 2 of my Tess Lives Alone series. We have already done a vlog which covers the incredibly essential self-care as responsibilities side of things. You guys saw me do some chores and some cooking and such, but now we are going into the fun stuff that I have been doing this last little while. And I want this to be a really good example of what we'll call low buy, no buy self-care. So my signature art form that I've always had is collaging. So you can collage straight on plain paper just like this. Use magazines that you have, or you can create personalized papers with any color media that you have, like textures or paints. Or you could buy a cheap magazine or junk mail, anything in your house that is made of paper, and please remember that you can't get it wrong. Like, in my opinion, you can't get art wrong, but I feel like you definitely can't get collage wrong. That's very philosophical and important to me. I'll explain one day. You can also collage on top of established things if you would like. For example, this here is a prompt journal called Inner Ramblings. They're usually between $15 to $30 depending on paper quality and such. I'll put some of my faves in the description. Or you can use a plain sketchbook from the dollar store and use journaling prompts from the internet. There are a million around, and I'll give you some of my favorites below in the description as well. You can also print out other art, in this case zines, to collage on top of them and decorate the way I have. No-buy digital download zines such as this Bikini Kill one, which is legendary to the Riot Girl movement. So here I've given it a front and back cover in black and white collage, and also done some coloring in and a colored intro page. So we all know that one of the greatest ways to take care of yourself is to make some homemade food. Obviously making it healthy is the most important thing to do, but I felt like making treats in this particular case, and so making yourself treats as well I think is just really good for self-care. You know, healthy food is essential, but like making homemade treats is just like even better. So in this case, I decided to do some sort of nostalgia-tinged cooking and see if I could make my own puff pastry gluten-free cinnamon rolls to echo the cinnamon rolls that were not gluten-free that I got addicted to when Mum and I were in Europe last year. Okay guys, I just cleaned the kitchen, and to me that means one thing and one thing only. Not, oh, I have a nice clean kitchen, let's keep it clean, but rather let's immediately dirty it again by making cinnamon pastries. So that's what we're gonna do. I have all the ingredients out and prepped. We have got butter for filling, we have cinnamon for filling, we have white sugar for filling, and these are the two baby boy puff pastry sheets that are defrosting. I've got two out because they're not very big. So they're here over on their baking tray, and so now I am going to put YouTube on because this is probably going to take a while. I need to create my sacred personal blend of cinnamon and sugar, so there is not too much sugar or too much cinnamon, because if I just go follow by the recipe I found, which is however many tablespoons of sugar, however many tablespoons of cinnamon, I might end up not liking it, so I have to make sure it's personalized. So this may take a very long while, but I'm prepared, so let's go. Ha 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 ha. Oh, they're so beautiful. Oh, my babies. Okay, let's do the taste test. Okay. Please let them be as good as they look. Please, 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 please. Okay, that's underneath. Oh my effing god, that is so good. Oh no, this is a problem. Oh, these are so good. Now I want to sit and eat the entire tray in one go all to myself. Okay, well, this is my new breakfast hack. My breakfast is usually nothing, but now that I've got these boys that I can make every once in a while, I'm gonna be breakfasting every day. Guys, honestly, I am a genius. All I needed all this time to relive my European Museum Cafe days with Mum from last year, where I would eat cinnamon pastries every single morning. All I needed was some gluten-free puff pastry that I didn't even notice was there until like 2 weeks ago. And a simple recipe and my own blend of cinnamon and sugar that was perfectly blended, may I say myself. And just a little bit of rolling, little bit of time in our oven. Oh, I feel like this is like 0.1% of what happens when you have a baby. I'm just so proud of myself. Another great way to get some self-care happening for yourself that is low buy, no buy, is to basically have a play with what you've already got. So if you're a witch, which I am, so this next little section is about my witchcraft practice, that's a really good low buy, no buy way for me because, you know, I've got so many things that there's always new spells I can do, new altars I can make, and all of my decks, I can pull a new card from a deck. Like, I don't need to buy another one. Like, it's a whole thing. There are so many free and almost free things that you can do as a witch, and even in my very maximalist practice, you think I would be going out and buying new little novelty rainbow sparkly treats for all of my altars every day, and it's like, no, only sometimes. So I guess not all you guys are witches, but if whatever your hobby is, like, is it video games, like, is it, that's just the one that's coming to me right now because I don't play video games, so I'm trying to think of something that's opposite to me, and so I guess it's video games. But like, start playing a game again that you really loved playing, except be a different character. Like, I don't know if you can do that. I don't know how games work, but you can do something like that. So you don't need a new game, just like how I don't need a bunch of new crystals to have fun with my witchcraft practice. Like, just come on, there are so many fun things that we can do without having to buy anything with our hobbies. And if you genuinely are out of things, you know, like you're a painter and you've genuinely run out of all of your paint and you can't do anything, well, in that case, you can at least do some research about some things that you might do in the future. You could research about a new paint set that you could save for. You can do other kinds of things that will help you with your painting with supplies that you do have, such as sketching and prepping if you've got your pencils, hopefully you do. Yeah, just lean into your hobbies in a way that treats what you already have as the best thing, because chances are, if you love something and you do it all the time and you devote time and money to it, then like, there's always parts of it that you haven't explored yet, a different way to look at things, a different exploration, a different game, a different spell, a different altar, a different painting, round and round it goes. We can totally do that, guys. So in this next section, I'm reading from the decks that I've already got, so that's a no-buy, as I said. For those of you who want to do some reading, become witches, but don't have any physical decks yet, there are websites where you can draw tarot and oracle cards. One, for example, is nebula.com. You can sign up for an email that gives you a daily tarot card pull. And there are lots of other websites, but I'm just familiar with Nebula. I wanted to tell you about a few cards that I pulled from my tarot and oracle decks last night. Realized that I hadn't pulled any oracle or tarot cards since the beginning of the year. Like, I pulled my guidance card for the year, my tarot card, and I got the star. I'll put just a thing here of what the card means, but it's beautiful, it's so positive. So I'm glad that I got that for my yearly guidance card and not, you know, the tower. Anyway, I'm talking too much, but I decided that I wanted to do like a mass pull last night, because, you know, one my tarot deck and then one oracle deck just didn't seem like enough because I've got multiple decks. So basically I did first my tarot deck, and then Enchanted Blossom Oracle, Norse Goddess Rune Oracle, Bestiary Oracle, and my Molly Roberts Art Magic Inspiration deck, which is kind of oracle-y, but mostly to do with like Art Witch inspiration. And then a pull from a little mini thing that isn't tarot or oracle, but it's the Practical Witches spell deck. It's this mini little deck of spell cards, all different ideas for different purposes, and Mum got it for me for Christmas. And a lot of them I kind of can't really do, like it says, you know, plant a garden of this particular flower in order to attract, you know, something, and I've got no garden to plant a flower in. So things like that have to kind of be adapted, but I got one that I have adapted, so I'll tell you that one in a minute. But this one is obviously still important. So, our tarot, Keeper of Wands, Cleopatra. Natural leader, royalty, cunning, charisma, originality. what are my dreams moving forward, and who do I need to ask to make those come true. And then Enchanted Blossom Oracle is one of the first decks that I ever got, because I love the concept of it. It's all just beautiful words to reflect upon, which is why it's called empowerment. But the illustrations of each is a flower and then a little dragon with butterfly wings. So I could just sit and stare at the illustrations all day. So this is the one that I got, Dignity. So you can see there, it's a, what is it? It's a dahlia, and the dragon is Orion, O-R-I-O-N, however you pronounce that. We are born into dignity. It cannot be taken. They are within a right to it, like we are within a right to it. How do you treat yourself with dignity? And what can you do to resolve the situation when someone disrespects you? And then my Bestiary Oracle is one I got for my birthday from my friend Polish Laura. I know two Lauras, and so one of them is Polish Laura because that's her family background, and the other one is Flower Crown Laura because she wears them all the time. So this is from Polish Laura, and she gave me this incredible oracle deck that is all animals. So the card I got was the Little Owl. Obviously they're all illustrated beautifully, and I love this little owl, isn't she cute? So, key in to wisdom. Little owl sees what you cannot. Call when you're ready to listen. This includes if you need other people to help you in terms of like therapy or an accountant. Like literally call people, not just, you know, oh, I'm gonna meditate for the hour, like literally people. So then Molly Roberts' Art Magic Inspiration deck. Place of Power. Sprawling or tiny, permanent or temporary, public or secret. An altar is a conduit of creative life force and resilience for the art witch. Festoon your altar with anything you find special, fun, enchanting, or subtly compelling. Permit your altar to evolve as you do. Arrange intuitively, adorn, play, edit, repeat. And I think that is one of the best cards I can pull, because one of the things that is most central to my practice as an art witch is creating beautiful, lovely altars. And most of the time I've got so many different things in my room that I don't have to buy anything to create a completely new altar. So last card is Eclipse Enchantment. This is a moon card. It says Eclipse Enchantment. And so this is about the kind of magic that can occur and that you can do when there is an eclipse, which is obviously very specific. I don't know if there is another eclipse this year. I probably would have heard if there was. I mean, hello, witches and the moon. But I need to look that up. But obviously I can't, you know, make there up to be an eclipse tomorrow so I can do this magic. So this one is kind of more difficult. But then what I realized is that I have this journal, this guided journal that I've had since, oh my god, like the beginning of my practice, that is like literally a moon art journal. So even though I can't suddenly create an eclipse because of this card, it's a moon spells card, and so I can use that inspiration to transfer into my moon journal. So, you know, the magic takes care of you. You just have to maybe interpret in different ways. So I have incorporated these cards into my altar. I'm just going to put them up and give you a quick look. But I'm doing a full tour of my Happy Home altar, which is currently out here. if you are a witch, you might not have an altar that you can then put your cards on the way I'm doing here. But if you are a witch, I just suggest that you make an altar, because it's like, it's just so fun. And it makes you look at everything in a new way. Like, you could put a bunch of your things together that are all one color and see how they kind of look together, and they'll look completely new and like sparkly and crazy and empowering of that color, you know, whatever color you want it to be and to represent. And you didn't have to buy anything. Like, that's just my favorite thing to do. I'm obsessed with altars. You guys can probably tell if you're a long-time viewer. So yes, I'm putting my cards I pulled here on my altar. Alright, so this is just the altar. I've got the cards placed to remind me to work with them, because obviously I've got them written down, but this also keeps them visible. So Place of Power is about altars, so of course it goes on the altar. These are offerings, just by the way. There is the little owl card. This is just a sticker that I ordered a while ago, and I think it's just sort of woodland woman called on the website, but she's got a green mantle and red hair, so to me this is Bridget. There is the moon spell eclipse card, and I've got them together because, you know, we've got kind of orangey here, orangey there, green around, green, green, so they look really cool like that, even if the rest of the altar is very much not their color palette. Like, I just love it instead. And so then back here we have got Cleopatra there, Keeper of Wands, and then Dignity there with the Dahlia. And this cottage teapot is probably the #1 thing that I wanted on this altar. As soon as I thought of happy home altar, I immediately thought of the teapot, because is there a happier home than a pink cottage teapot? No, I do not think there is. So here it is. You're in for a proper tour soon, I promise. There we got Bridget, leprechaun bag back there, and then this is the music box that was part of my ceremony to the leprechauns. Part of the ceremony is singing a song or playing bells, so I played this music box, and I played at least once a day for them as well. And then of course there's wall art as well, because I'm me. So yeah, those are the cards, and now I'm gonna do some moon journaling. Now, even if you are a witch watching this, you might not necessarily be an art witch, which is what I am. But leaning into my magical practice, as I said before, is art magic for me. So this next section is going to be art magic specifically. So that might not be you, but I hope you like enjoying watching me do it, and that it can give you some inspiration, and that you can become an art witch like me, because it's so amazing and beautiful. Okay, sorry, I'm just trying to make you drink the Kool-Aid. So now, because I pulled a Moon Magic Eclipse card, I'm now leaning into it using my Muse with the Moon guided journal. I love it so much. It cost between $20 and $30 if I remember correctly. The page said to put something in the frame that brings you happiness, so I decided to get really psychological and put a picture of me. Another really good aspect of self-care that doesn't have to involve buying anything is to honor your inner child. There are many, many ways to do that. In this case, I just completely went off on my Easter present, which was a frog instead of a bunny, and it was huge, and I've always wanted it since I was a kid, and I painted it to have this like epic wrapper, and it just made me so gleefully happy to do that because my young self had just wanted one for so long, and now here I was. And then I also spent some time hanging out and introducing you to some of my toys. I have enough. I do not need to buy another one, so I am celebrating them by introducing them to you. You guys, this particular evening, I just finished my moon journaling, and then I taught a kid, and then I had some dinner. And now, I think it's finally time, like 3 weeks after Easter, to unwrap my Easter tree that I got instead of a bunny, which is this milk peppermint super frog from Haig's Chocolates, which is a legendary Australian brand. We all love Haig's. And I've always wanted this biggest frog, but it just always seems ridiculous to have one that size. But then this year, Mum and I were in Haig's kind of getting stuff, and she was like, well, what do you want? And I kind of was going to say, you know, oh, I've always wanted one of those, but then I was going to look for, because they have little ones of these, and then medium, and then the huge one. And so I was like, oh, I was going to look for the medium one, which is kind of the same size as like a normal Easter bunny. Or maybe a bit smaller actually, but I couldn't see them, and so when I was standing there looking at it, I was kind of like, huh, and Mum walks over and just picks up this giant frog and just puts it in the basket. So that was my Easter bunny. It was born in front of me, so it wasn't a surprise, but like, I love him so much. I don't know, it's like a ridiculous version of inner child work. Like, it's just, I've wanted one of these for so long, and Mum just slid into Homebase and got it for me. But what I wanted to do was not have him just be green. I wanted to paint him, because this is that's the dark green that he comes with. I wanted to paint him to be a tropical golden green bell frog, like what we have in Queensland. And I actually took a bunch of pictures with him. Like, I wanted official portraits before I ate him, because I'm just so happy with how big he is and how much fun I had painting him. So I'll just show you a little bit of the video that I took for the portraits. But anyway, it has come time, I think, finally, that I need to eat him, because that's his destiny and he will be unhappy if I do not fulfill it. But obviously, with the amount of effort that I put into that foil, do you think I am throwing it away? Absolutely not. I will be peeling it off very, very carefully and sticking it to another piece of paper to make it like its giant own foil, like, special artwork. So Freddy Frog will live on with me forever, including in his portraits and on my wall, which is where I plan to put him. But anyway, unwrapping him without tearing anything is now going to be the most stressful thing I've ever done. So let's do it together, and hopefully I'm not gonna die. Guys, I'm scared. I've got a pile of toys out here, so while I'm spending some time alone in the house over this little while, in the apartment, I always just say house as habit, while I'm spending some time alone, I've got some of these guys out here to hang out. So I thought that, you know, plumbing those memories of your childhood and getting those toys out, or you could obviously buy one, but I'm trying to keep this video to a low cost / no cost self-care. This is Nigel, who I won at a carnival, and he kind of looks a bit like a beagle, except he's purple, so obviously he's going nowhere. I have this guy, which I actually got from the side of the road, if you can believe that. It was sitting on the brick fence outside someone's apartment building with a sign taped to him that said, "Please adopt me," and I was like, oh, I'm adopting you. So I just think he's really cool, even if you don't collect toys. Like, he can just sit on a shelf and be, you know, just a cool abstract part of an artist's house. Let me see, this is the OG from childhood, Dardog. You can see how worn he is. He is the legend. I wrote a little world even before I could write. I was telling stories about, like, Dardog and his cousin Dardania in the little Dogland world that I created. So he is very much a legend. This is Jeremy Fisher, that I got from a gift shop that is local to me that was closing down, and so I went in kind of on a whim and I saw him on the shelf, and he cost a decent amount if I remember, but not only is he beautiful, he was the only toy left. He had no friends, so I was like, oh, like, no matter what he was, I would have brought him home. But look how beautiful he is. Like, just in his little outfit, and he's so soft. Like, it's just, he's beautiful. In terms of, like, craftsmanship, this is one of my favorites. Let me see. Oh, this is a legend from when my brother and I were little. This was his favorite. I had Dardog and he had this, which is, this guy is Finny Cool, named after the Irish mythological figure Finn McCool, who is still popular in I think among Celtic pagans. But yeah, so that's just really cool. Finny Cool. This was my brother's. And I have an IKEA golden retriever as well. But another very important member, this is the biggest one, so I'm like struggling to get it over with one hand. This is Winnie Teddy. Winnie being our beloved gold Labrador who died at the end of when? At the end of 2015. And so obviously we were very sad, but he was sick, and so it was his time to go, and we know he's, you know, running around in the sky somewhere, catching frisbees in his mouth and eating sausages. David Bowie takes him for a walk every day, or he is Carrie Fisher's new service dog. These are facts. But this is a special Winnie Teddy because it's actually got his ashes in it. Here. We named him after Winston the pot grower from Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, and a joke in that movie is that his friends always saying, "Chill, Winston," whenever he gets nervous. So we used to say that to Winston, and so on his feet are "Chill, Winston." So yes, this is the toy squad that I now have to tidy up because they're all messed up and no one can see the TV. Additional guests. Thing, who is very excited about a new project to do with him that is coming this year. Here is Tessarian. There is Wednesday. There is Queer Wally. And there is the one and only Good Luck Dragon, Daenerys. Alrighty guys, it is now the last day of me living alone. Mum's gonna be here later in the night. We're dealing with a lot of stuff that's very helter-skelter, but basically I wish that it was easy for me to like put this camera somewhere while I do everything all day. Like I wish we had like a bigger kitchen and that it was easy for me to do that, because the amount of shit that I have got done today, like the stuff that I wanted to slowly get done for about 3 days has happened in 1 day, and I even added things to the list. So one thing, obviously, as you can see, the decorations are down. The soft toys are back in my room and the normal pillows are there. The altar has taken off the table and the painting is back. And this table is clear of all of the art supplies. So that's done, and I did it shockingly fast. I started at like 9:07 or something, and then it wasn't even 10:30 when I finished. So that was crazy. But then what I decided to do kind of yesterday, and then ended up doing it today, I basically turned into Maria the cooking lady from Living Planet Friendly. I'll tag her down below. But I had this energy today, and that's why I'm telling you now and putting this at the end of this kind of self-care second half of me living alone vlog, just as this period's about to end. Because like yesterday and the day before, I was so exhausted. Like yesterday, I pretty much slept all day. I don't know why, but I did. And so today, I was like, all right, well, all of this stuff that I wanted to get done slowly over the past few days is going to have to be done today. And it has. And so then what I decided to do is something that I've actually never done before with our food, which is cook multiple meals in a day the way Maria does for Living Planet Friendly. Is all of our stuff really healthy, made from scratch? Absolutely not. But is it stuff that is better than me having nothing for dinner? Yes, it is. And this also means that when Mum gets home later today, she doesn't have to worry about having to cook anything. I mean, I would have cooked something for tonight, no question, no matter what. But I decided to cook 2 extra things so that we are now down for meals, for dinners, for basically the next week, depending on how the leftovers kind of happen and how many portions we get out of each meal. But like basically, yeah. So this is the fridge. This is carbonara, which is my favorite pasta sauce since I was a kid. My favorite everything, really, favorite meal. This is the gluten-free pasta that I have already cooked. This is spicy chicken, guacamole and tomatoes for Mexican. I have burritos and Mum has tacos. This is slow cooked pork, and some mashed potato for another meal. And then I have made yet more cinnamon scrolls, and they are in here. So I prepped 3 meals in 1 day and cleaned up all the stuff in here that needed to be cleaned up. And so now I will be, I think, editing this video and having this hot chocolate, which is nearly ready. All the powder's nearly melted in. So I hope you like this video. I hope this and my other one, longer vlogs, can give you an idea of what I've been doing when I've been living by myself. And I've been feeling dodgy about it over the last few days. But then because I just slam dunked everything today, I just feel so confident now that like days like this happen when I'm on my own. Like, I'm not sleeping every day. Like, this energy finds you even if you sleep sometimes. Like, whatever. So, making food is an essential part of self-care. Remembering to eat, all that stuff. So I'm giving myself no excuse because I'm making things that I actually like to eat. If I was meal prepping stuff that, you know, healthy books tell you to eat, then maybe it would just go to waste. But if I actually bother to make foods that I really like, then it would be beyond ridiculous for me to not eat them. So I'm kind of forcing myself into self-care there. Subscribe down below for more of my vlogs, more of my art stuff, more of my witchiness, more of my yapping. We do all sorts down around here, which is exactly how I like it. Follow my art Instagram at tessconlonarts. I also have a website, tessconlon.com, and in particular I would love it if you subscribed for free to my Substack. I do film reviews, I do fiction stuff, I do, again, pretty much anything I want. I love all kinds of writing, and in particular I try and nail down a weekly newsletter. I try to make it weekly if I can. So that way I'm at least breadcrumbing something and giving myself a little bit of writing practice, even though I've had writer's block for a long time now when it comes to longer works, so like, God help me. Anyway, I've whined about that enough. You guys, long-time viewers, have heard me complain about that. But anyway, I would love for you to follow / subscribe to all of those things. Give this video a like because it really helps my channel, and comment down below literally anything that you want to say, whether it's something in this video or whether it's about the weather that you are having today. No matter what it is, you know I love talking to you guys. So, I think that's everything. So, remember, I love you, keep going.